The Weeping Statue, published Thursday, January 30th, 1930. Mora, Kanabec County, Minnesota, through the Kanabec County Times. The Weeping Statue. In the ruins of Arbroath Abbey, in Scotland, is the decapitated statue of a Scottish king, and at his feet lies a headless lion. This is King William I, called William the Lion. He founded the abbey in memory of his friend Thomas Becket. Here the king was buried, and during the Reformation his statue and that of the lion were beheaded. It is a strange fact that if the weather is going to be wet, the stone over the region of the king's heart always becomes shiny and moist, and sometimes water actually trickles down. That is why it is called the Weeping Statue. A Statue Weeping by Steam, published Friday 13th, 1866, Macon, Georgia, through the Southern Christian Advocate. A statue weeping by steam. A singular discovery has been made in a church in one of the faubourgs of Milan. A statue of Saint Magdalene, which has long been famous for weeping in the presence of unbelievers, was recently moved in order to facilitate repairs for the church. It was found that the statue contained an arrangement for boiling water. The steam passed up into the head and was there condensed. The water thus made its way by a couple of pipes to the eyes and trickled down upon the cheeks of the image, so the wonderful miracle was performed. Would sell husband's tomb on which own statue weeping stands. Published Saturday, June 3rd, 1922. Bridgeport, Connecticut, through the Bridgeport Times and Evening Farmer. When Henry Wyson, Brooklyn, found himself about to die, he had an estate of $100,000, which he left to my good wife Elizabeth, provided that she erect over his remains a mausoleum to cost no less than $25,000, and if she did not, the remainder would go to the daughter of a friend. The widow built the tomb and topped it with a life-size statue of herself weeping for her husband's death, or perhaps it was for his folly. The widow's impoverished and seeks permission to sell statue and mausoleum. The will of Frederick E. Castle, Newark, was admitted to probate yesterday. His testament reads, "All my earthly goods I have in store, to my wife I leave forevermore. I freely give, no limit do I fix. This is my will, and she the executrix. This departed may not endure so long in the minds of those who visit cemeteries, but his widow has more reason to remember him fondly. The poetry isn't much, but it expresses a sentiment more tender than the mausoleum with its weeping statue does." Weeping Statue Held Authentic. Published Monday, July 19th, 1954. Frederiksted, St. Croix, Virgin Islands, through the West End News. Weeping Statue Held Authentic. Palermo, Sicily. The Roman Catholic bishops of Sicily have endorsed the authenticity of the Weeping Madonnas of Syracuse. A foot-high terracotta and enamel statuette of the Virgin Mary credited with healing hundreds of persons. Ernesto Cardinal Ruffini, Archbishop of Palermo, broadcast the bishop's communique over the Italian radio. He also asked that a shrine be erected on the spot where the statuette's manifestation of tears was reported to have occurred first on August 29th of 1953. Since that day, hundreds of thousands of Italians and tourists from other lands have jammed the narrow Via degli Orti, Street of the Gardens, one of the humblest streets in Syracuse, to seek the Madonna's intervention.